Hello everyone. In this video we continue setting up our initial setting once when you install the Windows server. So in this video we're gonna focus on setting the static IP address, because the IP address is assigned by Dhcp by default. So the set of static IP address for the server user is very important. So because if you set your IP address in Dhcp, every time you restart your computer the IP is gonna be changed, right? The IP is going to change, so it will be difficult to reach your server. So one of the purpose of changing the IP address to static is that if you want to reach your server, you just type in the IP address that you put as a static. Every time you want, you can reach this server. I'm very sorry guys, but you understand what I mean. So as usual, there are two ways to change this IP address, this IP address from Dhcp to static. So the first way is by using the PowerShell. So I'm gonna run the PowerShell as administrators, and then I will display my network interface. This is the first thing to do. So I'm gonna check what is the configuration of my network interface. So I will type network NetIPInterface AddressFamily, and then IP. This will be IPv4. This will be IPv4, or maybe I missed the command. Get-NetIP. Get-NetIPInterface AddressFamily IPv4. This is the error, IPv4. Okay, so as you can see now, our loopback interface local connection 3, because I'm using Wi-Fi. I don't have the local. I did not connect this server to the LAN, so that's why you see this back. You see this type of my connection, but we going to focus on this interface, this Wi-Fi, instead of the Ethernet. So we're gonna set DHCP and replace the index number to our own environment. So for example, we want to set the IP address to. So we continue setting this. So once we type the NetIPInterface address family IP version 4, so here there is an index that you have to follow. So let's say if you want to change the Ethernet, you have to focus on this index number. So for me, in my case, I'm using the Wi-Fi 2, so I'm gonna focus on the 18, index number 18. So as you can see, the documentation say that set DHCP off, replace the interface number to your own environment. So I'm gonna turn off the DHCP by following this command. So this command is say that like set NetIPInterface, Set-NetIPInterface, and then the interface name, interface index, followed by my index is 18. So I'm gonna set 18, and the address family is IP version 4, right? So in this instance, we are going to assume we want to set this. We are going to assume first we needed to disable this. Sorry, we need to disable this DHCP, and then we're gonna want to, if we want to change the IP address to static IP address. So because this is the default IP address gateway, default IP address, and then this is a gateway IP address. So the code is like this: new net IP address, interface index, the index of our interface, address family, and then IP version 4, IP address is this one, prefix index 24, hop, so, and then the default gateway is this network, right? So in my case, first let me turn off this index DHCP hyphen disable. So we disable this DHCP. As you can see here, my network is turned off, and then you remember when we type ipconfig. So this is my IP address. So I'm gonna follow like this to create the static IP. So this is the network. Okay, once something like that. So we're gonna type new net IP, and then address, the address hyphen interface. My interface index is 18. My interface index is 18, and address family is IPv4, then hyphen IP address, maybe. So I'm gonna put this IP address is going to be my static IP address. So 16 let's make it not this one, let's make it I'm gonna put like this 192. I'm gonna use the class C 192.168.100.1. okay, this is my IP address. And then I'm gonna use the prefix index, prefix length, prefix length 24 hop, and then default gateway is default gateway default gateway is 192.168.100.0. so this is going to be my default gateway, right? This is let's say that's 100, and then my IP address .1, and then this one, let's say default gateway .1, and then you're gonna set IP address .2. okay, and then press enter. Oh, there is an error on the prefix length. Prefix length should be capital. I think I missed the code typing error. Okay. Let me type again. Let me copy and paste this one. Okay, I will copy and paste the code for now. So 192.168.100.1, and then here I'm gonna type is 192.168.100.2. this is my IP address, and the default gateway this one, and then I'm gonna press enter. Element not found. New-NetIPAddress. New-NetIPAddress not found. New-NetIPAddress. Okay, the interface is 18 because I copy and paste, that's why you say that the interface is 18. Okay, now everything is changed. So as you can see, IP address is 192.168.100.2. this is the IP address from interface Wi-Fi 2, and then the default gateway, we will check it later. Okay, so and then we're going to, for example, set DNS to 10. So we're gonna set the DNS to, okay, now we're going to set the DNS set DNS client server. this is for DNS client server address. Okay, and then the interface, it should be interface index, should be 18, is that is our index, and then hyphen server address. this is the server address. So the server address, we're going to if we take a look at this example, the IP address is 100.1, and then the default gateway is 1, and then when we check for DNS, we give the whole 10. So set server address on our side is going to be 192.168.100.10. it's gonna be like this. Okay, and then hyphen PassThru. okay, if you want to, let's say, okay, you did not understand my explanation because my English is not good, maybe we can copy this code here and then paste here. Right now we can paste here, and then we can ask the Gemini, and then I don't have internet. You do like this, and then you will get full detail how does this code work, right? So when you, and then we press enter. So Wi-Fi 2 IP address, this one is for the DNS. So if you want to confirm, you can type ipconfig/o. you can see everything now here on the detail. Where IP version 4. Yeah, the default gateway is 1, as you remember we put this one. The DNS server is 10, and then the default IP address is 2, right? This is how you can change the static IP address to Windows Server using PowerShell. So the second way is using GUI. So in order to change your IP address to static using GUI method, you have to first open the, I close this one, open the server manager, and then the document say run server manager and select local server, and then we're gonna click on our local server here. After clicking on the local server, and then if a panel, click Ethernet section. Okay, this is a server panel, and then Ethernet section, because we are not connected to the Ethernet, so we will click on the Wi-Fi 2. This is what we connect right now because I don't have the Ethernet cable to plug in, that's why I'm using the Wi-Fi 6. And then you right click property, and then TCP version 4, or you double click on the TCP version 4 and then you change here, right? So this is exactly how we change from the PowerShell command. So if you follow the documentation here, you click and then property and then double click, and then you see here set the static IP address gateway and other for your local network. This is how you can change, right? After setting the static IP address, changes are enabled on the server manager. This is how you can change. So I repeat again on how to change the static IP address to static. So on the server, open the server manager and then click on the local server, and then once you see the network connection, the Ethernet port here. So I don't use the Ethernet, I'm using the Wi-Fi. So if you are using Ethernet, you can double click here, and then you can double click here, you can click on TCP version 4, and then you can change it to manual. Here you can assign IP address, default gateway, subnet mask, and then preferred DNS for the server to be reached. Okay, but for me, in my case, I using Wi-Fi, so I set it up here, and then like this TCP. You can see this is my default network gateway. Okay, this is how you can change this IP address. Thank you guys.